This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
If there's a season, I want to see which rookies are really hungry because they have to do a lot of self-workouts this season. Yeah, but remember, Trey, it's great to see a kid in shape, but mentally, does he know where he's going? Example, Raekwon McMillan coming back from the knee injury, or in his first year, he blows out his knee, right? Then he comes back from the knee injury. And then what did he look like? He looked lost. He was hitting the wrong hole. It was terrible. It was frustrating because when you watched him, it didn't look about the knee. It looked about that he was confused and he didn't play well. And obviously with the knee, I'm sure he didn't have 100% yet. Year 3 comes around and he looks a little bit more comfortable. They find a role for him. They use him more as a pass rusher, those kind of things. So you got to understand, Trey, I love your theory on finding out who is a true professional. In other words, what you're saying is Zion Williamson. Okay, he came in a little chunky, right? And did you watch him now? The 4 months off, kid worked out, looks better now, looks slimmer, looks more muscular instead of he had that baby fat, right? He was that guy that was a freak, and he had some baby fat. And then there's John Morant. John Morant had added 12 pounds of muscle in the 4 months he was off. That's what you're talking about. Rookies that you know that the good Lord bless them, but it's more than that for those guys. They take it serious because they want to be great players. And so they also worked on their bodies too, on top of everything else. So I love what you're saying, that we're going to see which are the guys that are personally disciplined for all of this. But remember, there's more than just conditioning. There is the mental aspect of the game. And you can be in great condition, but if you don't know how to read a defense or where you're supposed to be on offense or whatever, or who your assignment is, you're done. So kind of a catch-22. It's great to see who's in shape, but it's also great to see who can learn the playbook, who can then, pick it up as quick as possible and adjust. So it's a little bit of both. I love what you're thinking, but there's another part of it that, hey, he might look great physically, but he doesn't play that way. And we've seen those guys, right?
You hope that the dedication in the weight room transcends to the classroom.
Exactly.
The mental goes with the physical.
In baseball, my favorite team back in the day was the Phillies, not the Marlins. Before we had the Marlins, it was the Phillies.
Well, you had to adopt,
Yeah. We had a young kid they drafted by the name of Wes Chamberlain. Okay? And if anybody's out there that's watching and is a Philly fan, a longtime Philly fan, you might remember that name, Wes Chamberlain. If you want, go look up the name. Go look up the picture. Wes Chamberlain Phillies. Okay? This is an imposing mother. I mean, imposing. Okay? This is the guy that you looked at and you said, oh, my Lord, this is going to be a player and a half for years to come. Because when you talk about the all-runway team, Wes Chamberlain was on the all-runway team. Okay? I mean, he looked apart, dude. He was probably about 6'3", 6'4", chiseled. I don't know what his stats were. Let me see here. 6'2" is what he was. Big guy, man. Muscular. I mean, great-looking athlete. That you looked at him and you said, holy crap, this guy's going to be a freaking monster.
I can't miss just from looking at him.
Just by looking at him. And he was terrible. He sucked. The Heat had a kid in their expansion year by the name of Sylvester Gray. There are very few people in the history of sports, especially basketball, that can look like Sylvester Gray. Okay? Couldn't play. Couldn't play. And yet, athletically, not too many people had his athleticism. It was a sick talent, but it was so raw. It was never. It couldn't get redefined. It couldn't get defined. It just never got there. And I don't need to tell you. Anybody that's watched sports long enough, we've seen those guys come and go in all of sports. So it's not just about the conditioning. We got to know if they can play. You know.